Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Fit and Lit podcast. I am Bridget Koenig, your host with the most. I don't know what I have the most of, but here we talk about fitness and literature or trashy books. And I have been slacking on the book reading lately, and there are so many things that I need to read and I have been anticipating and have been really excited for that I have just not gotten into. And we will talk about this in this episode, along with talking about how important it is to share your story. But first, I wanted to talk about this amazing water jug. If you are on YouTube, you can see it, but this is the 40-ounce Hydro Jug Traveler Cup, and I am obsessed with it. And I have drinking. I have had so much water in the last few days since I've had it. I've had it for like, I don't know, 4 days now, and I can't drink out of anything else now. I got that jug and then like a shaker cup. I'm completely obsessed. I have been drinking at least a gallon of water a day, some days a little bit more, and it has felt so good. I have noticed that I haven't really been taking care of myself before, like not as well as I should have. And I posted this on my Instagram, which if you're not already following me there, go do that. I post a lot in my stories. But I was kind of looking back on photos and I was noticing that like it's so weird because when you look back on photos, well, not everybody, but for me, like I was like looking back on photos and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was really tiny and I looked really fit. But in that moment, I remember I was always like trying to lose weight, trying to lose weight, trying to lose weight. And now I'm like, what the heck was I doing? Like that's so jacked up. But during those times, I was eating very healthfully and thoughtfully and intentionally. And I haven't been doing that lately. And my skin has been like horrible. Like I had my skin cleared up so good. Like it was the best my skin has ever been. And I was taking care of myself. I had a really good workout routine. I was eating really good, really, really super, like I said, intentional. And I was also like looking good. I was feeling good. And now I don't feel like I look good. I am not 100% happy with what I see in photos. I've gained like 20 pounds, like, and my skin has been horrible. And I just wanted to say, like, there's a connection there. Like, when you eat well, when you take care of your body takes care of you. And I preach this all the time, but I've noticed, lately that I haven't quite been doing that. So, I had a really good reality check. It wasn't like a hard reality check or anything harsh or like, like I've given myself a lot of grace. It's been a year since I have been purposely trying to put on muscle, but it kind of got sideswiped with my mental health. So I feel like I have my mental health under control. I'm like the happiest, most clear, like I have so much clarity and just like I said, grace with my mental health and where I am at in life right now. So I'm ready to get back to clearing up the skin, to feeling good in my own body again. And that water bottle has just really helped me get to that gallon mark. Um, Last week I booked a facial. So I had like a full facial done. It was so nice. They did the dermaplaning and what else? Lots of different masks. I did like a tightening mask because I have such gigantic pores. It's just something like it's totally genetic. We have big jaws, curly hair, and big pores. So all the women in my family. And I could still feel the effects of that tightening mask like still today. And it's awesome. And I'm so happy that I did it. And I have noticed that my skin is clearing up a little bit, but it could be that part of my cycle too. But I've been tracking my macros just to kind of see where I'm at. And I've been like really happy with what I've been eating. I think just like when you track your food, you just kind of get really aware, intentional. You get intentional because, you have to type it in. So you're very aware of what you're eating. You're not just like putting random things in your mouth. So that's been nice. I've been feeling really good. And I started running again. I started running. Yeah, I started running again. So way back in 2011 was my first marathon that I ran. And I ran the next one in 2012. And then in 2013, no, it had to have been 2014. I ran because 2013 I was away at basic training. So 2014 I ran a half marathon. But anyway, so I used to run. I used to really enjoy it. And then I kind of stopped. It's just been really difficult. As I'm getting older, I'm like, I just want to stay in bed. Like, I'd rather go somewhere inside. I hate the wind. We have a lot of wind here. I don't really like the cold. Like, I just want to stay like, in a blanket and just kind of hang out, or go somewhere, indoors. So I haven't been running. And on Sunday, I just really got the urge to run. Like, I was like, I just feel like running right now. So I went on a run, and then I started a running program just with like the Peloton app, and went running again on Monday. And I'm going on a run again tomorrow. And it's really cool. I feel rejuvenated. I feel really happy, and I'm excited to see like where this is going. And I wanted to share this because the New York City Marathon was this past weekend. And I saw a post on Instagram where it was so at the very end of a race, like, because they can't just keep the roads closed forever. Like, there's a cutoff. So the people who are right at the end of the cutoff, there is a van, or it's an ambulance, like some kind of vehicle to pick you up if you cannot continue on. So the photo that I saw on Instagram was of this woman. She was obviously like overweight, and she was the very last one, and she just had this look on her face like pain and struggle, but she was still going. Like, you can tell in the picture she wasn't walking, like she was like running her best. And it was a really inspirational photo because it was talking about how important it is to share your story and to show your struggles and share what what you're going through. Like, it isn't always all about the people who are doing the best. It's not about the elite runners. It's not about the people who finish first and the fastest. It's really cool, and like, of course we're going to applaud them. Like, that's a lot of hard freaking work. But even just a normal person can go and like put their mind to something and still go on, and like the struggle is part of it. So in that same post, I tried to look for it and I could not find it anywhere, but there were some really good statistics. And basically what the statistics was like, back in 1960, like the statistics for the fastest marathon were a lot faster than what they are now. And at first I was like, man, so like we're getting slower, or like people are getting lazier. No, that wasn't the point that they were trying to make. The point that they were trying to make was that more people are attempting to run marathons because they're believing that they can do it, and they're not like thinking like, oh, I'm not elite enough, I can't do it. I'm not elite enough, I can't do it. And just the amount of women that are from like 2008 to 2018, the statistics of women went up over 50%. So like people are being more like, oh, like I can do that too. And I think this is kind of cool too, because with Instagram, especially, or TikTok, like places where you can see people's faces for like marketing purposes. So when I was growing up, you look in the back of a book and it has a picture of an author. And the author, it's like usually like a professional photo. The author is usually older, looks very professional, looks very like educated and put together. Well, now that we have like Instagram and TikTok where authors have their own, TikTok and Instagram pages where you can go follow. And I'm looking at these authors and I'm like, dang, like they're like my age, like younger. Like they just look like cool people. Like if I saw them on the street, I wouldn't be like, whoa, they're so educated. I bet they're like an author. Like I'd be like, oh wow, I bet she goes drinking on the weekends and has a really good friend group. Like so I just think it's really cool to share your story and like to do things, even if you don't technically like fit the mold of that sport or fit the mold of that profession. And like, I don't know, I just think it's like really cool because you never know who you're going to inspire. Like I said, the amount of women from just in those 10 years that enter marathons went up over 50%. So like that's pretty damn crazy. And yeah, I just think it's super important to share your story, share what you're going through, try things, even if you're like, you don't think that you're going to be good at it, or you think that, you're not as good as the elite. Like, of course, like if this is something that you're new at, you're not going to be elite. And I just think it's like, it's so cool. Like, it's so inspiring to me to watch people succeed at things like that. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're first to win the marathon or you're the last. Each person is putting in the work and like trying their damned hardest. Like you're not going to enter a marathon and just be like, oh, I'm just going to, walk it or whatever. Like you're going to try your best. That's like a big deal. So share your story, do things, please. And this is what's leading me into the literature portion of this, because sharing your story, I'm so mad. The last podcast or the last 2 episodes, I didn't even mention freaking Britney Spears' book coming out. And I was like, I didn't even mention that. I've had that thing on pre-order for so long. It finally came in and I haven't even had a chance to read it. Immediately after it came in, we were getting ready to pack and go to Arizona. So I didn't have time then. And then I was like, I don't want to bring it with me because I don't want it to get damaged. So I didn't bring it with me. And it has just been crazy. And I haven't had a chance to read it. And everyone has read it by now. Everyone has listened to it. I don't want any spoilers. I know it's a quick read, so maybe I'll try to do it this weekend. I don't know, but I'm so upset that I haven't read it yet and everyone else has. And I feel like I've had this thing on pre-order and I was so excited for it to come in. I want to know her story. I've heard that it's just so sad to see what happened with Britney Spears because she was like an idol to me, growing up. And I still have not read it and I'm very ashamed. Today, November 7th, freaking Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros came out. And I, like I said, I don't know when I'm going to have time to sit and read it because I know once I start, I'm not going to want to put it down. That's how I was with The Fourth Wing. I am not a fantasy girly. Like, I prefer thrillers. I prefer smutty romance. I prefer everything else except for fantasy. I just don't really like them. But The Fourth Wing, I loved. I loved. And I'm so excited to read it. I don't like reading from hardcover, so I got it on my Kindle and it immediately downloaded as soon as the clock hit midnight. And I haven't been able to get or do anything with it, and I'm so upset. And I'm definitely not going to stay up late tonight to do it because I'm freaking tired. I had a long day. We had another rough drop off with my son, but then he started playing with the other kids, so that's really good. I got my eyelashes done today for the first time because, again, working on that self-care, working on just, taking care of myself a little bit. I went and got some new lip liner. I don't know if you can see on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, but I got some new lip products, and yeah, I'm feeling good, but I'm tired and I'm ready to kind of relax, go to sleep, and get ready for another day because we have another weekend of travel, which I'm really looking forward to because it's a very relaxing type of vacation. It's not a wild one. It's just chill. We have no races. We have no agenda. And that's the kind of vacations that I like to take. So I'm looking forward to that. But more books. I am still reading The Block Party. Oh shoot, I forgot the name of it. But it's like uh this block or this party. No, this street. They have like a big party every year. And oh my gosh, what is it called? But they have a big party every year. Block Party by Jamie Day, The Block Party. But there's like, it's very reminiscent of, there's a book by, oh Jesus, the same one that wrote Big Little Lies, Liane Moriarty. She wrote a book and it reminds me so much of it. Liane Moriarty. I'm going to look it up for you right now. It is, I think it's Truly Madly Guilty. I think that's the one. It takes place in like oh my gosh, on a block, like with a bunch of, it's basically like neighborhood gossip and like a murder happens. So we still don't know who's murdered, which is also very Liane Moriarty, where you're like Big Little Lies, where you're like not quite sure who died, but everyone's like kind of trying to figure it out. And as you go along the storyline parts, like pieces of the story are starting to get together. So I'm trying to get through that one. But again, I have these two that I have been really looking forward to that I just don't know when I'm going to be able to get to them. Oh, it's so frustrating. And then I'm in the middle of a show that I'm also trying to get through. I'm watching The Fall of the House of Usher, and I was watching it while I was riding the Peloton because on last week we did the Impossible Mile Challenge, and I am still recovering almost a week later. I'm still recovering, but I just had to move my legs. Like I laid down and then my legs immediately would start aching. So I was trying to jump on the Peloton and then I was like, well, I don't really want to do, like, I just need to move my legs. I don't want to do a full class or like, sweat even. I just need to move my legs. So I was using the entertainment portion and watching Netflix on the Peloton. So I started watching The Fall of the House of Usher. It is so good. It's the same thing where like each episode is a different person who like dies and you're like trying to put all the pieces together to kind of figure out what the heck is going on. So I just have so many things on my to-do list. I'm in the middle of so many things. And I'm really tired. But I think just make this episode a short one. I was having a really hard time getting on here to even talk about this today. And I think I'm just going to call it and go to bed. Make sure to take care of yourselves. Do that self-care. Do those morning routines, those night routines. Drink your water. Feed yourself well. And make sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. Leave me a comment. Tell me what your favorite part of self-care is. For me, I'm really into eye gels right now. Freaking Des B got me on them and I can't stop. I'm addicted to freaking eye gels. But anyway, I will see you when I see you. You'll hear from me soon. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Bridget.Koenig. And if you want to see all the funny stuff and the stupid stuff, go to Instagram, only.if.we.vibe. Again, everything's down in the show notes or in the description. And I will see you guys next week.